Knew that John would be there because he'd already said yes. But even if he wasn't, then he's out. And I told the manager, or I told the guy, it's got to stop. What do you got? When we're doing a show and you sit down against the wall 6 feet from your microphone and take your headset off, it does make it a little bit tough. Now it doesn't feel like we're doing a show. It feels like I'm doing a show, which is okay, but I feel like you kind of need to tell me that ahead of time. We can't be having an hour-long conversation. It's kind of like a phone call. You can't just hang up the other end. You have to say goodbye.
Okay, one of the things that you do...
Hey, it was good talking to you. I really got to run.
You do the...
And say goodbye.
You've done the roll it, which means keep going, and the roll it that means cut it off. You do the same thing. So as far as I'm concerned, we got to the bottom of that. We figured out what the hand gestures were for wrap it up and cut it.
You were giving me the roll it. I thought you were enjoying the Malky story and wanted me to keep going, so I went in circles with it.
To the cutoff.
I could have done it for one sentence. Hey, the manager tried to interfere. Tell the manager to F off. Don't ever talk to him again. I could have been done with it then. I thought you were encouraging me. Give me more. It's like, well, I really don't have any more.
How could you not understand that I was out when I took my headset off? I went to our time. I gave you the thumbs up. I sat down. I said, keep rolling. This is rolling. We've agreed on these hand signals. Keep rolling. And then you went to Babbleland, and I did. All right, let's drop it off. We've done the pod and the repod, and the repod I believe is better than the D-pod.
You know what? That first pod really stunk. It really did stink. In some ways, we're lucky that it got deleted.
Well, the young man said he saved it. I said, well, you didn't save it, or you would have it. I hope that it becomes. I hope he does find it, and we have the lost pod. You know how the lost episode that we have one out there, and we have the lost pod.
Old Justin deleted it for sure, but he didn't want to cop to it though, and I thought he did a pretty good job with his poker face and act like, man, I don't know what happened. I mean, it just all of a sudden disappeared. I thought he played that pretty well.
Okay, moving forward. When I take my headset off and I sit down, that means I have no more spit to come out of my mouth this show. So, as I do this in slow motion, I shut the mouth.
Don't think for a second I don't know what it means. What I'm saying is when you just elect to take the headset off, as you've done again, sit in the chair and sit against the wall away from the microphone without letting me know ahead of time or the audience know that, hey, old Joel's done here. It's just a little bit hard. I'm just saying it is a little bit like a phone conversation that when you exit unilaterally without letting the other party know, I'm walking away from the phone and no longer listening to you. So go ahead and say what you have, but don't say anything that you want a response to, that it makes it a little bit tough.
I disagree with you. I did exactly.
You disagree with me? What if I did it to you right now? What do you mean you
Okay, here's what I would do. All right, ladies and gentlemen, for Chael Sonnen.
No, okay. Yeah, well, yeah, anybody could quit. Anybody could just give up. I'm not trying to give up. I'm trying to continue the show. And I'm doing it with a guy that took his headset off, sat down, and went against the wall without giving me a heads up. All right, let's do this.
in the future, here's what we'll do. I'll do this gesture right here. Waving me. This is waving me off.
No.
The second gesture.
I don't need a gesture.
Is putting this down.
No. You're missing the point. When you drop the headset, sit down and slide to the chair 6 feet away from your microphone. I got it that you're done. I just, prior to you doing that, could use some kind of notification, and then maybe you could even tell the audience, so that when I make a thought and Joel doesn't respond, everyone's like, well, that would be a perfect cue for Joel to respond. Maybe the audience then understands you've given up. You've taken the headset off out of absolutely no.
I haven't given up.
Listen,
but I do know.
ADD. You have ADD, but the audience needs to know that. I mean,
bipolar, me-polar, dipolar, ADD, CPC,
but it's almost
LSD. Listen, Daddy. You got to go, baby. You got to go. I know where you got to go, and you got to go.
Yeah, I got to get to the airport. I'll do a quick shout out for the listeners. Podcast One now has another MMA podcast. Sean Wheelock, Ben Askren, Joe Warren. They've had a podcast for a while, but they're now over at Podcast One. Download, subscribe, check those guys out. A lot of fun. I do got to get to the airport. Old Chael is headed to beautiful Budapest, Hungary. We got a show. Bellator will be live, free, and only on Spike TV. I guess that's it. Until next time, Joel's against... And then that's the other thing. See, you always come off the wall to hit your big spot of baby, but you didn't let people know you were gone in the first place. All right, here we go. Until next time, I'm Chael Sonnen, and you...